Well, judging by how good you are at protecting your friends, I consider myself lucky to not be one of them.
Revenge is mine.
Okay, I'm here with Alan Delabie, and we're going to be talking about the Shepherd Code Road Back. It's a sequel to the 2024 film. And Alan, you did such a great job. I felt like this sequel was better than the original, actually. It was more polished and more
Yeah.
exciting in terms of its action. So great job.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Yeah, we do our best. Our goal is to, when we are talking to do a sequel, our goal was to elevate everything.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I know the first one I liked because it was more story driven. It was a lot more
Yeah.
of the story. We get to know who your character was, and now
Yeah.
here we already know who you are at this point, and now you
Yeah.
you have to rescue your mentor and taking on this whole organization, and
Mm.
of course a demon from the past. And
Oh,
exactly,
yeah. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I enjoyed to do this sequel. It was after I finished the first one, I was so sad, and I said, and Michael Morris, my co-director, who is also Matt Daniels on the film. So he said, I know you. You want to do a sequel?" I said, "Yeah, I want to do a sequel," because I felt something. The character don't need to say goodbye yet. So I have so much to give to this character, and my goal when we talk to Michael said, okay, let's have something, let's create something bigger. And I said, yeah, because always the problem is the budget and time and budget. So, but uh, M&M Film Production produce it with a better budget, better budget. So we did it, and I mean, it was very great opportunity to do this film and this sequel. And of course, um, we have to think about the villain part because uh, the sequel needs to have a stronger fight. And Mark Strange was a great choice for the villain, and he did a fantastic job. And I'm very happy to have fight him on screen.
yes, I gotta tell, I'm a huge fan of Mark Strange ever since I saw him in Underground in 2006. And like he has the skills, and I know
Yeah,
he recently had his first lead role last year with Kung Fu Games.
yeah, exactly.
And yeah, and compared to and in the last film, you fought Samuel Simak, who's another
Yeah.
powerhouse in my opinion.
No, yeah, definitely. Silvio did a great job, but the problem was the time against us. The time and the budget was against us, unfortunately.
Yeah,
So that's why we have to rush a little bit, and we have no choice. But you have to keep moving forward, whatever happens. So, because some people sometimes say, "Oh no, I will not release it because I do some mistake." I assume my mistake. I assume my mistake because the mistake you did, you have to think about this. Okay, let's build something bigger after. You know.
yeah,
So of course we know we will have some people who criticize, but to be honest, I show more my skills on that one on the Shepherd Code 2,
hmm,
then I can prove now for the next something bigger.
yeah,
I mean,
exactly. But
so
despite the fact that you had time and budget restrictions on the first film, in my personal opinion, I felt like the first one was more story driven compared
yeah,
to this one.
yeah,
So it's
yeah,
like so for me, I see the positive in
yeah,
despite the fact that I know you were hoping for more action in the first film, but I like the fact that for me it's story driven. For me, to me, it's story driven because
yeah,
we're getting to know who your character is and understanding how you're connected to Silvio's character and some of these
yeah,
other characters. And now in the second one, it's like now you got the bigger budget. Now it's like, you know what? I did the first one story driven. Now I can
yeah,
concentrate on
yeah,
making
exactly.
an
No,
action
true.
packed sequel.
Oh yeah, of course. It was a, it was this intention with the sequel, and of course Don Wilson is more present also on that one, and also we got Shaina West.
Yes.
Shaina West did a great job also on it, and everybody's at the right place on the film, and and then you can see again I hunted by the past with the mission I missed up with Tanya. So it's hurt me so bad because the you can see, oh, the mission was not fit cause to the woman, because Matt Daniels was more great for handle a mission with a woman, but actually not. It was Alex, but I did the mistake also. So that's haunted me. And yeah, you find out, you think at the first one, Silvio is a real killer.
Yeah.
At the end, you find out the truth on the second one.
Yeah, exactly. And I like that. I like the fact that you're like the French John Wick in a way. Like the type of
Yeah,
character that this that
yeah,
past is always going to come back to get you somehow,
yeah, yeah,
no matter
exactly.
what. And you got to fight for your life, despite the fact that you want to live this peaceful existence.
Exactly, exactly. So you want exactly. My character was that's why we build. What I was thinking when I create because when I did before Borrowed Time, it was the character was more a guy who's get out of jail with different look, different. The guy was need to he was like a test subject. But I said when I create Alex Lapierre, I need a very classy assassin with a beautiful suit, someone with the tattoo on his chest, and
Yeah.
have a look very like tough guy. Like, I know people can say okay, but that's why I have John Wick is always on the dark suit. Alex Lapierre had a different color of suit.
Yeah.
It's very different. It can be is different than because he talk a little bit more than John Wick. He's more like and also the fact he has his friend Matt Daniels is good chemistry between each other, and so that's we create like a friendship, like Little Weapon movies, like with Mel Gibson and Danny Glover.
Yeah, I like that because you and Michael had this great chemistry. It felt like it was not just a hitman movie, but it was like a hitman buddy movie, and you rarely get to see anything like that. Maybe the closest we had was Debt Collectors with Scott Adkins and
Oh
Louis
yeah,
Mandylor, because here they are playing two debt collectors, but they have that buddy comedy action chemistry. That's what it
yeah.
reminded me of because you got Michael being like the comic relief, where you're the more serious type. You just want to go back to retirement basically, and you can't because you gotta.
Yeah, it was my goal. It was my goal, to be honest. It was my goal. When I do this, when I talked to Michael Morris, said, "Listen, we have to do something like that, like to feel the vibration from the 80s, 90s with the synthwave music and also retro music and with the good things, and have to this because we need to show the classy assassin, not the dirty assassin. We need to have, of course, it's gonna be tough because we're killing, but the thing is, when you hear that we have protocol, the agency of Lewis had a protocol, and the agency of Dumont is no mercy.
Yeah.
As Karate Kid, you have Daniel LaRusso and you have Martin Lawrence, you know.
Yeah.
So that's
Or even if I'm going to put this with Don, speaking of Don the Dragon Wilson, the martial arts kid, you have the Space Coast Dojo
yeah,
who believes in the positive aspects of
yeah,
martial arts, and then you have T.J. Storm's Lorraine Kane, whose
yeah,
Dojo Extreme is assert, assemble, dissemble, and whatnot, attack and dissemble.
yeah.
And it's like that. It's like they're two different. Like you're the more good side of the assassination industry, where Dumont is more kill at all costs, basically.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. When we think about Dumont for the character of Black Dumont, when the production company sent me the profile of Michael McKell, I was very impressed because uh, straight away they sent me. He was looking as a character. I said, "Oh no!" I said, and so I saw some demo reel from him, and I said, he did a great job. So I mean, I'm so happy. He's an amazing actor. He's a great actor. So I mean, I'm very happy of the cast. So
Yeah, I
for
am
me,
too. I mean, this one you did for. I mean, I remember seeing Shaina West in The Killer's Game and Jade.
yeah, yeah,
We already talked about Mark Strange, and I like that. Mark
yeah,
Mark is no joke. I mean, I love the scene where he's
No,
taking your old like jujitsu instructor. That whole like
yeah,
he brings that really how do I put this, like a dark presence when he shows up. Like
yeah,
when he's there, he's
yeah.
ready to like be the enforcer at all costs, and he will do whatever it takes to find out where you are.
When we create this sequence, I remember I said to Mark, I want you as No Country for the Old Men shit. I said, I want you to act like when you kill the guy, you have to enjoy, not kill him for killing. So I want you as a very badass people and you enjoyed. And your goal is to, or of course, working for Dumont, but you want to make a revenge of your mentor, who is Silvio.
Yeah. So that's what I found mind blowing. And your fight with him was really good. It
Yeah.
did bring that 80s, 90s style of action back. And and we're in an era where everyone's loving the throwbacks to that old school action genre.
Yeah, yeah. You know, when I watch movie nowadays, it's too they use too much acrobatic stuff, so they always jumping, acrobatic, sweeping, and stuff. Some are great kicker, but to be honest, for me, even nowadays, I can tell the great kicker for me on the movie is Jean-Claude Van Damme. Van Damme, Jean-Claude Van Damme was a guy who was impressed by his kick, and now everybody's love Chuck even Chuck Norris. I grew up with Chuck Norris also. I
Yeah.
was a huge fan of Chuck Norris, and canon movies, say that we grow up with those.
I grew up with that era.
Yeah.
I'm from the 80s, so I grew up with like Bloodsport and
Oh yeah, me
all
too.
the Chuck Norris movies, and I even watched like some of the lower budgeted ones, like No Retreat, No Surrender,
Oh yeah.
the three No Retreat, No Surrender films of the '80s. And they were like one of the first ones to bring that Hong Kong flavor to the
Yeah,
to audience,
definitely.
because everyone because I hear Hong Kong cinema, everyone's like, oh, everyone talks about the Matrix, like, oh, the
Oh
Matrix brought Hong Kong action too. I go, no, you got to go a decade before that. It's No Retreat, No Surrender. That was the real first Hong Kong
yes.
action films in American movies. Because
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You're right. Because I saw you have a kickboxer
yep,
behind you. Yeah. So yeah. So I mean, it's a dreams come true, Yeah. Because I'm working also with the director of Kickboxer, David Worth, who he was my mentor. That's him who teach me the filmmaking and stuff. But I mean, that's my goal to continue my because that's what Michael Morris says to me. Said you create Alan Delabie's movie style and you build the audience. You need to continue to give what we miss now. I mean the vibration from when I watched Cobra Kai example. My heart beat a lot and I said because I felt a lot of things and the Cobra Kai series when I watched it, it was like you saw Martin Aron's, you know, point of view,
yeah,
Cobra Kai. And that's what I love. And for Shepherd Code, it's like, you know, buddy movies, but also something with character driven, and also to have emotion when you watch the film. You need to feel the past. Yeah, where the flashback when in the desert when we go to a pee break and stuff. We're talking like as a friend and stuff,
mhm,
and that's you see also the confusion with the ex-girlfriend and said, "Oh, you take this mission, blah blah blah." You see the assassin had a life, you know.
yeah,
He has a life. He act like he's normal person, but behind he's not a normal person. That's what my goal to create. Like in a society, the danger can be someone you think is smart, but behind when the door is closed, a second life.
yeah. And I like the fact that, like you mentioned, because you're being an assassin, you have this life. That's what we're seeing nowadays with actions, like the action character types. They're not back in the 80s and 90s. You had the guys with the muscles, and they're like
Yeah,
virtually invincible. Nowadays, you're seeing them as like actually human. They have flaws. They have a life. They can feel the pain.
yeah,
Some of them in some movies, like Michael J. White's Falcon Rising, he has
yeah,
PTSD. You
yeah,
know, and so I like that. the action heroes there are becoming more human compared to the big invincible tough guys we used to have back in the day. I mean, I feel like it brings more of a sense of reality in the films.
Yeah, of course. But what is very good to stay, that's the vibration, because the emotion. Because right now when we watch, it's spectacular visually, but we missed the point of like what we love with old low budget movie, as you said, No Retreat, No Surrender, or all the Michael Dudikoff movie, or also Chuck Norris movies and stuff. But even Bruce Lee, I remember we grew up with those old movies, and that's why the vibration of this time, that time was very magical. I mean, so no competition now. We got great movie now, of course, because the technology, digital changed the world, but something is different, and so.
Yeah. I think one of the yeah, I think for me one of the big differences like we're not getting as much action as we are like in terms of martial arts flicks, like not much now. Like we're getting more.
Yeah,
I'd say Scott Adkins is like the number one guy nowadays because he,
yeah,
and he could do stuff where he doesn't have to always do acrobatics. I just saw his latest movie, Prisoner of War, and he doesn't resort to acrobatics. He does more of a hard style karate, his character.
yeah.
And I like
Oh,
that they can mix that up. They like these big action stars can mix
yeah,
things up in terms of the action style they use in specific films.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I will watch Prisoner of War, of course, because I've working 2 time with Luis Mandela, and I spoke with him a couple of days ago, quickly. But what is good when about a franchise, you need what I did. It's I want to create something like I want people, when they watch the film, they suffer with Alex. They want to know more about Alex. They said, "What, this guy is mysterious. This guy has got something." You create something special. Matt Daniels and because the organization of Lewis, Don Wilson, because Don Wilson, is a legend. He's a superstar for me. He
Hmm.
creates something very. It was a real deal. He's a real deal. I mean, on kickboxing, of course, but
Yeah.
he's a guy. I've enjoyed to work with him because the first time on Shepherd Code One, yeah, he said, oh, he was impressed. I said, really, you impressed? I said, yeah, because he said, Alan, you impressed me because you can laugh now and 10 seconds you are the character. Yes, because I have to. You have, if you want to make the character, because I'm a different person in life. I'm
Yeah.
not. I'm a funny. I'm very. I enjoy. I love talking. And when I'm into my character, I am a different person, of course.
Yeah, and a lot of people are like that. Even I know Michael J. White. I saw an interview with him when him and Scott Adkins did Undisputed 2, and he would talk about how they would laugh it up on the set, and then they have to fight each other. So they do the fight, and they're zoned in, and they work on their fights, and as soon as they yell cut, they get right back into the funny conversation they were talking about right before shooting. So, you could like I like that
Yeah, it's very important because it's very, of course, acting, and when you do a film you have to take it seriously, but behind the scene you don't need to take too seriously. You need to be a human, because a lot, no, the big problem is egos, because specifically for martial artists. But everybody's bring their own skills, everybody bring their own experience, we learn from each other, and that's the best things. So because we have to think, to create, to elevate, and to think what you can do better. And I think that's the best. Even Scott Atkins, I remember when I talked to him last year, I said, my goal is to always improve my work, and specifically on acting, because in action, he have nothing to prove now. He have nothing to prove. He have his pedigree, so he don't need to prove it. But he said, I have to still prove it. I am also actor now. So I said, yeah, but he's doing well. So I mean, for me,
yeah.
yeah, he's in it. He's in it.
So you mentioned Van Damme. Like, was he one of your influences in taking up martial arts? Was he like a big influence in when you?
Uh, yeah, after Bruce Lee, when I saw Bruce Lee, but it was my first influence in martial art and Jackie Chan and Chuck Norris. But once I saw Van Damme, I said, oh man, all those kick and stuff, the look and stuff. I was impressed. So I start to. Everybody wants to try to do the split and stuff. Even me. That's why I do sometimes some just homage, like I do the split on Shepherd when I do the
Yeah,
training and stuff. It's just the homage, because I want to put some touch. They said, oh, because people wants to know. They are curious. They said, he's capable to do the split. He's capable to kick high. Because after when you saw all of those martial artists, it's very difficult to keep the level. you know so you have to say, okay, I can do this. I can, no, I'm not acrobatic, I cannot do that, but I can do this. Okay, but you create yourself, you create your character, you create your own path, your own style. I don't try to copy. I'm inspired, of course, because we
well,
need to
yeah,
be inspired, but not copy, but
right.
inspired.
That's awesome. So how long was shooting on Shepherd Code 2 compared to the original? So you mentioned time and budget. Was it a longer shoot this time around?
um we got a little bit time, sorry, a little bit time, but what it was, the preparation was a little bit better,
Mhm.
not for acting, but for the action, because when I have to fight, um, we have little bit preparation for the fight scene in the bar, because we have Joe who take care of the stunt coordinator for that,
Mhm.
and but it was a lot of things happen, and you have to the time for we have the location, the availabilities of people and stuff, so we have to speed.
Wow. Well, this is a great movie. I mean, like I said, it was a more polished sequel. It was more action packed. You know, the first one for me was story driven.
Mm,
Now this one was more action packed.
yeah.
So now the burning question is there a possibility of a third movie down the road? That's what I would love to know. That's the burning question.
I
Could
have
could yeah, could we
I
see
have
Alex return?
oh yeah, probably you will see him return for probably hopefully two movies, but something will happen in 2026, but I cannot spoil yet. But you will find probably something already, but I cannot talking about that. But I work on the script of the Shepherd Code 3, of course. But yeah, as I said to Michael about that, Shepherd Code 3, we need. I want added more action again, but also a lot of drama.
Yeah.
That's what I want. I want people to be, oh no, oh wait, yes. Said, oh no, oh yes. I want them like that. I want I want their heart beating. I said, I want at the end applause, and I said, yeah, you did it. So
Yeah, I
that's
could
what
see.
I want.
Yes, so I could see this. The first one story driven. The second one all mostly action. Now I can see the third one finally meshing the two equally together. That's what I could totally see.
Yeah, exactly. There's gonna be something like I want to bring, and I want new people inside, of course, new characters. But I want some little flashback on the Black Dumont character, because I want also explain the how people understand already Black Dumont, but I want when he talk about the car explosion, I want show people said, probably put him in the bed, and the nurse come to him like, he's completely destroyed and stuff. And you see him, he's crying, he said, and you can see on his lips, I will kill you, Lapierre.
Hmm.
stuff like that,
Yeah.
So the thing is, yeah, I want people, like Little Weapon, like it's gonna be, if I have to say something, Le- Shepherd Code 3 could be a mix of Little Weapon 3 and Little Weapon 4 on the stuff, because I want a violent fight again, and because the goal is to say after when you fight a guy Mark Strange, I want also a good fight for the Shepherd Code 3. But
Well,
yeah, we have already discussed about that. I'm starting the script. Something will come also in 2026, but you'll see. But for now, yes. I mean, hopefully, people will enjoy Shepherd Code. They probably some people don't know the Shepherd Code one, but they will say, "Oh, the Shepherd Code wrote back." There are another Shepherd Code. Oh, let's see this, and they will make sense when they will watch both. They will say, "Oh, um, now it makes sense."
yeah. And if there is a Shepherd Code 3, is
Mhm.
there anyone in particular you would love to face on screen? Because that's the first one you had Sylvia, the second one you had Mark. Who is there anyone in particular like you can hope to try to take on, or who would you like to face on screen in a film someday?
I mean, I have already two people in my mind, but I don't want to spoil yet because. But I think it's gonna be two very interesting martial artists, and one. I mean, I don't want to spoil, but
That's a
uh, of course I want some. I would love to have a cameo of Michael J. White also.
That'd be
Or
cool.
John Atkins, just a cameo, but we need to have a bigger budget for just a cameo. Not only to play like just to have just like a cheering character, like said, guys, I support you, and stuff. But you never know. You never know. I mean, I think we will have something will be very, very powerful. I can tell you the we'll have the drama will be a mix of intensity of both movie,
Mhm.
but something that I want to at the first 10 minutes of the film we said I want to watch. I want to watch. I want to know.
Yeah.
That's what I want for the last the character will faces to another enemy,
Mhm.
but you know the enemy will be probably around the place already, but we never know. It's gonna be a surprise. People will be very surprised of what will be this explosion, and I want a lot of gunfight because I know the film will be. We talked with Michael about that, and also hopefully we got the opportunities to make it, but if Shepherd Code wrote back make good noise, we will promise you guys We'll promise you guys something memorable.
Awesome. Well, if you're in the UK, the Shepherd Code Rollback will hit digital on October 6th. I'm not sure about a US release yet, but you can watch the original Shepherd Code in the US right now on Tubi. I highly recommend this if you love story-driven action films. And Alan, this was an amazing talk. I have had such a great time talking to you,
Me
and
too.
I cannot wait to see what's next from you and hopefully get to talk to you about your next projects.
Yeah, look into early 26, but you can check my IMDb if you go on IMDb, check it and you'll see some stuff. But for now, it's a cool surprise. But Shepherd Code 3 definitely on my radar, and we talk all about it. And but if we make this Shepherd Code 3, I want something explosion, not necessarily explosion with explosion, but I now the subject is mature and we can bring something like whoa.
Exactly, and that's what I'm hoping also. So once again, thank you so much for taking the time to talk about Shepherd Code, the
And
road back.
thanks to you also. Sorry to thanks
No,
to you
you're
and also M&M Film Production for produce the film.
well, everyone. You take care and stay awesome. And once again, Alan, I hope we get to see more from you, and hope we get the Shepherd Code 3. So thanks again.
My pleasure and take care.
Okay.